So I want to talk about another concept with you guys in regards to economic collapse, bartering, that kind of thing. A lot of people think that as long as I hoard enough stuff and stockpile enough stuff, I will be okay because I can barter that with something. And I highly encourage you guys, and I have been highly encouraging you guys, not to be hoarders, but to be producers. There's a difference between hoarding and producing. Because when you're just hoarding, you're liquidating assets. Everything you do is liquidation. When you're producing, you're growing. You are growing your set assets, and you are having something that's of value that you can reproduce. Okay? And the problem with liquidating assets is as you get to your lower reserves, items have much more value to you and create an artificial, value that doesn't really exist. So let's talk about the sequence of events today to kind of describe what I'm talking about. I went and I sold a rabbit. Great. Got some money for the rabbit. On the way home, a good buddy of mine was like, hey, I have this rooster, he's fully grown, and if you're up for it, I'd like to trade for one of your younger roosters because I'm wanting to put some genetic diversity into his flock. I have some really good heritage breed birds. It's great. I'm just gonna eat my roosters anyway. But if I can help a friend out with his flock, that's great. And I got a full-size Americana rooster right here that's ready to go in the freezer. Perfect trade. And we can do this because we're both producers. If we weren't producers, and for example, I was just stockpiling items, now I have to give him valuable items that I see as super valuable that are ever depleting for a food resource. If I was going to make this trade in silver or gold or precious metals, I now have to, again, liquidate my set assets for food. I don't have to do that because I'm a producer. So we're able to come to a trade that benefits both of us. He gets a younger rooster of mine because I'm going to eat my rooster anyway. So he gets a younger rooster of mine that's great for his diversity of his flock. We form a great relationship, great working relationship built upon trust, relationship built upon merit. I'm helping him out, he's helping me out. And I don't have to feed my rooster anymore to get food because now I'm just getting an instant meal right here. So there is a lot of use, and there's a lot of benefit of being a producer of something. And the problem with liquidating assets comes down to the sheer numbers. When you have a lot of them and you have a lot of something that you're bartering with, great. It has a set intrinsic amount of value that usually you can come to some kind of agreement with somebody else upon. But as you start liquidating those assets and your stocks start to get lower and lower, that stock now has more intrinsic value to you that didn't exist before. The amount of value it has to the person that you're bartering with stays the same, but the amount of value it has to you, since you have less of it, becomes of more and more value, which is going to skew your ability to engage in commerce with somebody else. Because if it means something more to you just because you have less of it, that's not real intrinsic value. That's just, hey, I'm running low on shit and I need this can of beans now more than ever. When you're a producer, you don't have that problem, okay? I'm not stockpiling chickens, I'm producing chickens. I'm not stockpiling pigs, I'm producing pigs. I'm not stockpiling cows, I'm producing cows. I'm not stockpiling rabbits, I'm producing rabbits. I'm not stockpiling quail, I'm producing quail. I'm not stockpiling ducks, I'm producing ducks, etc., etc. So I know that when I exchange that rabbit, duck, cow, pig, you name it, that livestock animal, another one's going to take its place. So I'm not worried about depleted stocks because I'm doing my due diligence to produce. I'm not hoarding, I'm producing. And that nuance with producing is important because the more I can produce, the more I can get things that have a medium of exchange. So the more I produce, the more fiat currency I can get, or the more precious metal I can get. So I can replace these items for other things that I need because I am producing something that is worth value in which I am getting a good medium of exchange to which I can get other things. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. A lot of people just think, well, I'm going to stockpile stuff and that'll get me through. And don't be wrong, having savings is important, but dipping into your savings should be worst case scenario. And in the worst case scenario, such as a grid down situation, economic collapse, or any of these hashtag bad events, I want to be able to produce things in order to keep life going the way it should be. And being able to produce things to get good mediums of exchange are super important. So I don't have to worry about
my silver or my money, and I don't have to worry about, dipping into my savings or stockpiling, because I'm always going to be able to get these items because I'm producing things. I'm producing things of worth that will get me this, which will get me the things that I need. It's pretty simple. It's like what we're doing today. Most people are sacrificing their time, using their labor, and they're getting fiat currency. And they get fiat currency so they can buy things. Same thing I'm doing. I'm producing things to where I can get fiat currency because it's widely acceptable, or a medium exchange that's widely acceptable, so I can then purchase things or get services as needed, etc., etc. So yeah, like I said, I know there's a lot of people out there that are strictly on this I'm going to stockpile shit narrative. I'm just going to stockpile a bunch of stuff. I'm going to get a bunch of coffee grinds or Bic lighters, matches, water filters, wool blankets, candles. If you're the Canadian prepper, bug spray, because I guess, they must have some big bugs up there. I don't know. But I need to have all these things because I'm going to then trade these things. And that couldn't be further from the reality of what is. You know what I mean? So, yes, I'm not saying don't have those things, but if you think that a guy like me is going to trade my livestock for a couple Bic lighters and a water filter, you got something else coming, because that's not going to happen. Everybody's mileage may vary. You may find somebody that's willing to do that, but most people around here, no, sorry, man. I don't know what you thought you were going to get with your Bic lighters, water filter, and candles, but yeah, we're good. So, really keep that in mind. I really want you guys to be producers, and don't think that you have to have a bunch of animals to be a producer. You can be a producer of so many things. I know people that are producers of, they have fruit trees and bushes on their property, and they have a regrowing, regenerative source of food. It's not livestock. That's widely acceptable. You can have it on smaller, pieces of property, and you can do so much with fruit. Just think of one apple tree. From an apple tree that produces, or a couple of apple trees that produce hundreds and hundreds of apples every year, you can do everything with that. You can make juices, you can make jams, you can make pies, you can make other food items, you can make alcohol, cider, you can make unpasteurized, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, right? So you have all these different uses that you can get out of one apple. One apple can do so many different things, right? So don't just think of it as a one-sum game. You know what I mean? There's lots of different things that you can be producers of, okay? Lots of different services that you can provide, okay? In this day and age, what we're seeing with people that are, that can make clothes or know how to butcher and harvest animals, like, these are things that are in high commodity just right now. Things aren't even that bad, So look at all your options. You don't have to be, a guy like me that has a bunch of, food on the hoof running around here. You don't have to do that. But you can be a producer of something. You know what I mean? So, if you have just a little bit of yard, fruit trees, fruit bushes, those things, you can produce food with that. You can produce, alcohol with that, cider with that if you wanted to, and that would be a recurring source of that if you want to do that. Or apple cider vinegar. There is so many uses for unpasteurized, unfiltered apple cider vinegar for people like me who have livestock, right? It's a great dewormer. It's really good for their digestive system. Like, there's so many things that farmers and ranchers can use with apple cider vinegar, especially in a grid down situation. So there's so many different avenues that you can go on, and there's so many different things that you can do. So don't sell yourself short just because you don't got property that you can, run animals on. There's lots of different things you can do. Use your imagination. You guys are smart. You guys are creative. You guys are intelligent. I know you guys can figure out something that you can be a producer of, okay? Whether that's power or what have you, you can do it. I know you can do it. So put your mind to it. Figure out what you're good at. Start producing. Hope this video has been helpful for you guys. If you guys like the video, let me know. If you guys think somebody will get some benefit from it, share it. Most importantly, if you think that I got this completely wrong, let me know. Please, let's have a conversation. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Test me. Tell me why you think I'm wrong. Tell me why you think I'm right. Tell me the goods, the bads. I want to hear it. So I hope you guys like the video. As always, guys, long live the Republic.